to unpack on the Hill Truth Live today. The countdown begins. Hill Truth Live is coming to you. What exactly do we have going on here? Where do I start? Simply because I'm not really sure where I should start at when it comes to all this craziness that's been going on. It's been a hell of a 2 weeks. It's definitely been a hell of a week here. And it's going to be a hell of a next 7 days for the next week. Because you got rumors on top of rumors. Non-confirmations on top of non-confirmations. And it's all centered around mostly Xbox and the Xbox brand. But also centered around Nintendo. And the Nintendo Switch 2. And the Nintendo financial report that also came out. So it's a lot to unpack today. And I think we got more questions than we actually have answers for a lot of this stuff that we're about to talk about. But man, I guess I have to start with this one. What the fuck is going on at Xbox? I think that is the only question that needs to be asked right now. What is going on at Xbox? How come every damn week we come around and it's a new rumor about this happening, a new rumor about that happening? And if you didn't realize, as you can tell by the title, if you have been under a rock and not on the internet the last few days, there are rumors that Xbox games are coming to PlayStation and Nintendo platforms. Now, what makes that kind of crazy is we kind of heard about Hi-Fi Rush already, and we heard about Sea of Thieves. We heard about certain titles going multi-platform. That wasn't really the thing. But what really sparked this whole thing is that somebody reported, which some people believe is a reliable source, but I don't trust any sources until it comes out the horse's mouth. that Starfield was coming to PS5. And then after that, we heard Gears of War was coming out to PS5. And before the day was over with, we heard that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was also coming to PS5 and other consoles. And after that point, the rumor just turned into the whole damn slate of Xbox exclusives, which basically brings us to the question is, what the hell is going on at Microsoft? Because just 2 weeks ago, they had probably one of the best Xbox Directs they have ever had. Everything was in line. Everything looked copacetic. Everything looked like it was on and up and up. They had a great holiday season sales wise. Starfield was a huge success for them. Their 2024 lineup is undoubtedly unmatched right now at this point. They showed us great Avowed. They showed us Indiana Jones. They showed us Hellblade 2. This was probably the most positive reception that Microsoft has had in a long time. And then out of nowhere, we get these rumors. And then to make things even worse, we get Phil Spencer, tweeting stuff like this. Now, this is what Phil Spencer tweeted after everybody just went crazy on the internet about all the Xbox games are coming to the PS5 and coming to Switch 2. Everybody claiming Xbox is, leaving the console market. Everybody's claiming that Xbox is going third party, going multi-platform. So this is what Phil Spencer decides to tweet after the whole shitstorm on the internet. We're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business update event for next week, where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned. Now, if that wasn't the most vague of all vague tweets I've ever seen, now, if that wasn't the I plead the fifth and no comment statement I have ever seen on the internet, I have no idea. How did we get to this point? Because the way that tweet is worded, it looks like it's a done deal. It looks like the Xbox brand is done. It looks like they're really going to pull this third-party bullshit after doing all that work and correcting the ship. Everything was in line for you coming into 2024. I just do not understand where this came from, because it didn't make any sense that this is happening right now. That's me just assuming that this is true, what everybody is saying, but this tweet really doesn't put up a big enough fight to make me believe it's not true. Unless it's some big ass swerve, but that's never the case when it comes to Microsoft. You never really get swerved like that. So when I read this tweet, I was like, you got to be shitting me. The last thing, the very, very last thing, and a lot of people will feel differently about this than I do. The very last thing we need is Microsoft leaving the console market. The very last thing we need is dropping from a big three to just two console manufacturers again. That is the last thing we need. And I don't understand it. It doesn't make any much sense to me, because you just had a developer direct 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, you had a developer direct, and all of a sudden we are changing course. So what seems to be happening to me is it seems like there might be some infighting going on at Microsoft. As some of you know, previously, now a couple of months ago, or even a month ago, that a certain executive at Xbox talked about bringing, Game Pass to every platform and every screen. And then Phil Spencer came out and tweeted something differently. So obviously the people higher up at Microsoft have a game plan that's completely different than what Phil Spencer in the gaming division has, because they have basically been saying opposite shit of each other for the last 12 months. And now it seems like the shit done hit the fan and the collision course is finally here. What I don't understand is, I don't understand how we got to this point just 2 weeks after that Xbox developer direct. It doesn't make any sense to me. It makes me feel like what makes it feel like to me, it makes me feel like that somebody that is a little bit more powerful than Phil Spencer at Microsoft hit the panic button and said, fuck it, we're going to blow it up. We're putting everything everywhere. I cannot fathom to think that that was the game plan all along, considering what Microsoft has done over the last 12 months to solidify a first-party lineup and an exclusive lineup for Xbox, considering the whole battle of the FTC with the acquisitions, considering how they set up just 2 weeks ago about exclusive games coming to the Xbox Series consoles. So I'm really confused here. I don't know what the hell to think about this. I don't know how we got here. Something is obviously up, and my thing is, it does not need to happen. The last thing we need is less competition, and Microsoft was finally giving competition, and now they're trying to take it away. I do not understand having everything set there in front of you. You have everything setting in front of you, set up for you to gain momentum. You already gained a little bit of momentum for you to move forward and push the Xbox brand forward. And 2 weeks after probably the best showcase you had in a very, very long time, you pulled this bullshit out of your ass. Phil, you got some explaining to do, because this ain't making no sense to me at all. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And most importantly, I don't want it. I see a lot of PlayStation fans out there, claiming victory and, running laps like they're running around an arena, running around a track field or something, and hawking it up and choking and the memes and all that. But this is not a funny situation, because the rumor gets even deeper, because more has came out after the fact, after this whole blow up, that Microsoft also is going to allow people to make third-party consoles to where they could put their games on. The last thing we need is cheap, great value brand manufactured consoles from whoever decides they want to put shit out. So this is reeks of bad all around, and it's not something we need. The last thing we need is a bunch of companies decided they just want to flood the market with random hardware for gaming, and then we're gonna have a whole situation like we had with the console crash, way back in the day. We really don't need that. We really don't need that. And a lot of people seem like this is a win for Sony, but it really isn't. It really isn't a win for them, because Sony, for some reason, people think Sony issues just disappear. Like Sony issues are just magically have vanished. They have major issues themselves that they have to worry about. They have major issues themselves that they have to get corrected themselves. So I don't understand why anybody that is a PlayStation enthusiast or a PlayStation fanboy is doing any victory laps right now. Sony has a lot of issues that they have to iron out. They're not out of the water either. But the main thing is, we cannot go back to having two console manufacturers. We cannot do that. And most importantly, if Microsoft pulls this move, it also sets a precedent that maybe Sony thinks about doing it too. And that's something I definitely don't want to see. I don't want to see it. This all stems for an all digital future, which I am not a fan for. I do not want an all digital future. I don't care about having an all digital future. I don't need an all digital future. I like to have ownership of my shit. So you got to understand at the end of the day, these companies are businesses, and this is what Microsoft is going to do. And this becomes very profitable for Microsoft. You best to believe Sony will be the next one in line trying to do it. Sony is already in line with putting their games on PC. We already see that. That's part of their infrastructure already. We already see they trying to sell you games in multiple fucking parts. They already jumped on that bandwagon. So what would make them stop them from following Microsoft footsteps? We really do not need that. And this is why this is just bad all around, and I'm not a fan of it, and I need Phil to give me answers very quickly. I'm mad that we have to wait a whole 7 days all the way to next week for an event after you just had an event a couple of weeks ago. So we gotta we gotta figure out what's going on. I don't think any uproar from the fans is going to change anything. Whatever the decision is already been made. That's pretty evident from Phil Spencer's tweet. I don't think we can dispute that at all. From the wording of this tweet right here, I believe whatever decision they decided they was going to do has already been made, and it's a done deal. And I don't like it. Because it doesn't sound like Xbox is coming back for the throne. It doesn't sound like Xbox is trying to come back, you know, and take back what was theirs. It sounds like somebody is throwing in the towel and saying, you know what? I'm done. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know. Maybe y'all reading the tweet a little bit differently to me, but this doesn't sound like a man that was confident in the Xbox brand coming up. And what makes it even more crazy is that, well, if they do this, and we already know there was a leak, because they had a leak earlier in the year that, you know, all their future plans were leaked. So we know about the next Xbox console that's coming. We know about, you know, the slim Xbox Series X that's coming. All the plans they had that are already there. So I don't understand. Are they still planning to sell an Xbox after they pull this? Because there's no fucking way you're going to sell an Xbox if you pull this shit out your ass. If you pull this whole slate, all exclusives everywhere, Xbox games on every platform, Nintendo, PlayStation, Steam, PC, Stadia, if that shit is still fuck around, Steam Deck, if you pulled that shit, why would anybody want to buy an Xbox anymore? This is why this doesn't make sense to me. This is why this doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But hopefully we'll get some answers. Most importantly, I don't want it to happen. It doesn't need to happen. It's not good for gaming. It's actually bad for gaming. And I never seen a company go through all this work, go through all this trouble, go through all this shit to write the ship back up, to basically throw in the towel right when you about to make that comeback. Somebody got to make sense to me about that. You about to make the John Cena comeback and you throw in the towel. Phil got to make some sense of that. But if I know anything, I don't believe it's Phil's decision. I believe the powers to be, the big wigs that are over Phil, made this decision. I don't feel like I feel like we're not going to hear anything different when this event comes out next week. And I feel like we're all going to be disappointed. But I'm telling you right now, this is not a laughing matter. I understand we have fanboyism. I understand we have teams. But without competition, it ain't worth a damn. It's not worth a damn. You know what I mean? No, companies don't operate like Nintendo operate. Granted, if all the competition fall off, I think Nintendo still operates the way Nintendo operates. But all companies don't operate the way Nintendo operates. We lost E3. We're about to lose one of the big three. We're about to lose physical games. if people keep adapting to buying digital games, you know, at record rates. Physical media is still somehow still managing to be the most sold, but the digital media is still has a big heavy hand in it. And now they're selling you digital copies for cheaper to get you to buy digital. So you don't own a damn thing. And on top of that, we also have the integrity of gaming being threatened by Sony and Kojima themselves by telling you they're going to make a movie that's also a fucking game. So gaming is being attacked at all fucking angles right now, and I need people to understand your purchase and your money means so much right now more than it ever has. So much more than it ever has. We got 5 to 6 different business practices that obviously ain't going to be good for us. It's not. Microsoft leaving the console market is not good for us. I don't care if you're on the Nintendo side like me. I don't care if you're on the Sony side or on the Microsoft side. It's not good for us. Publishers selling you games in multiple parts is not good for you. Companies selling you games cheaper on the digital versus physical is not good for you. Those things are not good for you. Those things are not good for gaming. Because it's all going to come back and bite you in the ass to the point of no return. Competition is key. Competition is key. And you need that in this space right now. You need that in this space right now. You really do. You really need it in this space right now. You really do. But now, lastly on this whole topic, right? Lastly on this whole goddamn topic. Look, I'm going to put it to you like this. Phil, I'm speaking to Phil right now. Phil Spencer of Xbox. If you can hear me, Phil. If you can hear me. If you come out there next week and say Xbox exclusives are going to every system and every platform that has a screen, I am telling you, it's going to be the biggest regret of your fucking life. Because number one, you ain't gonna be able to show your face on the internet anywhere ever again, because those Xbox are going to come for your motherfucking neck. That's number one. Number two, that will be probably the most bitch-made way for somebody to go out as a console manufacturer. At least Sega went out with some dignity. At least Sega went out swinging. At least Sega went down with the motherfucking ship before they decided to become a third-party developer and a third-party publisher. Y'all going out like some motherfucking hoes. Some hoes, some bitches. And what makes it even worse is that you sat up here and collected all these games, all these franchises, all these companies, all these studios. You locked and loaded every clip and every gun you got just to say, nah, man, I'm good. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Phil, you gotta answer me. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? I've never seen somebody gear up, lock and load, get the stick, and don't hit. Who the fuck does that? What was the point of loading up all this time if you was not going to weaponize it and stand on motherfucking business and take back what belongs to you? What was the point? That's the answers I need, Phil. Because I swear to you, in this Xbox special direct event update, business update, whatever the motherfucker you want to call this goddamn thing, if you come out there and crip your chappy ass lips up and say Xbox exclusive on every platform, you are in danger. And I'm not, and I'm just giving you a warning. You are in danger. You might as well log the fuck out of every social media platform you got and never return. You better pull a motherfucking Sean Layton and start going fishing and going on vacation, because your ass is done in the gaming community if you pull that shit next week. You better log out of Facebook. You better log out of Instagram. You better log out of Twitter. Hell, if you on OnlyFans and MySpace still, you better log out them bitches too, because you ain't gonna be able to breathe on the internet if that's what happens next week. I guarantee you. So take my word, Phil. I understand that some people are over you, but you need to look at the internet and show the powers to be that this ain't the way for Xbox. It ain't. If you couldn't get people to believe into your games and buying them on your platform, what the fuck makes you think they're gonna buy your games on other platforms? You didn't even solidify your house before going out and try to spread the love to somebody else's house. This is going to be a catastrophic catastrophe if y'all pulled this, Phil. I'm telling you that. And I'm telling you, you might as well retire, because your ass ain't gonna be able to breathe, because them gamers gonna be on your neck like white on rice, like Raid on a motherfucking roach. You might as well just pack it up and retire and resign. It will be over for you. Follow Jim Ryan's suit, find where Reggie Fils-Aimé is at and go chill with him, because your career in gaming industry, in the gaming division, will be fucking over. And I do not blame fans for being pissed off and on your motherfucking ass, because this one thing I cannot stand. I can't stand people standing up for themselves, and I cannot stand people that quit right before it gets good. And you're going to quit right before it gets good. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. At least, it's and it make it so bad. The rumor plans I heard for Xbox going forward are dog shit. I don't understand where y'all think is going to work like that. I don't understand how much money y'all think y'all gonna make. It's just not going to work the way y'all thinking. If those rumors are true, I'm going to base your tweet right now, Phil. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to base up your tweet. Because your tweet was not reassuring to any damn body. It looked like it is what it is tweet. That's basically what you should have just tweeted. It is what it is. Instead of this mouthful of fucking garbage you tweeted on the screen here. Let me show you this shit again. Yeah, you might as well say it is what it is. See you next week. Because this right here is not reassuring to any goddamn body. To nobody. To zero people. Period. But I'm telling you, fam. I'm telling you, my guy. I'm keeping it 100. I'm keeping a bean. I'm keeping a buck. I'm keeping a stack. I'm keeping 1,000 with you right now. You might as well go ahead and retire, because if you come out there next week and say Xbox games are on PlayStation and Nintendo, your gaming career is over. Just pack it up. Just pack it up. Put in your 2 weeks, get your severance pay, pack it the fuck up, and drift off in the sunset like Michael Pachter. You're done in these gaming streets. And I don't blame the Xbox fans for being done with you, because I myself would be pissed off if Nintendo pulls some shit like this. You're not going to tease me with all this great shit over the last 2 years and then pull the plug on it. You're not going to do that to me. Nah. So I don't like it. I don't want it to happen. It doesn't need to happen. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope to God they don't plan on putting no Xbox games on everything and still selling an Xbox like that's going to fucking matter. Nobody's going to buy it at that point. I bought a Series X, so I'm a little bit perturbed by it my damn self. So it's like we need the big three. We need 3 console manufacturers. That's when we thrive the best in gaming. That's where we get the most out of gaming. That's when we get the best products and the best games out of gaming when we have 3 competitors. When you don't have any competition, you get shit that happens just like the Pokemon company and the Pokemon franchise right now. Well, we got Power Word right now, so that's gonna put some motherfucking pressure on them. You get shit like what happens with the Pokemon company. You get shit like what happens with Madden. When there's no competition, it's not good for anybody. It's not good for an Xbox. It's not good for a Nintendo. It's not good for a PlayStation, Pony, Drone, whatever the hell they call themselves these days. It's not good for anybody. And that's all I gotta say to you, Phil. That's my 2 pieces on that. But the next thing I want to talk about is very interesting, because this is something that I kind of figured would happen eventually. And that is, we're gonna give you the sales update on the Nintendo Switch. And as you can see on your screen right now, the Nintendo Switch has sold 140 million consoles. And if anybody doesn't know, the record, as in the best-selling console of all time, is 155 million, held by the PS2. 150 million at number 2, held by the Nintendo DS. And now 140 million held at number 3 by the Nintendo Switch. So Nintendo Switch is essentially 15 million away from being the best-selling console of all time. Something I predicted it would be probably, I think almost 3 years ago, I predicted the Nintendo Switch would be the best-selling console of all time. And we're almost there. And one thing I would like to point out is I think we're going to get there. And the reason we're going to get there, I'm going to say that in a minute because I need to finish the rest of these tidbits here. This is all the sales for as of December 31st, 2023, for the end of the year last year. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom sold 20 million copies in less than 12 months. That's just absolutely insane. That's just insane. I think it's crazy that Super Mario Bros. Wonder sold 12 million since it released in October. And the funny tidbit about that is that everybody talks shit about Spider-Man selling 5 million faster than Super Mario Bros. Wonder, but just a mere month and a half later, Super Mario Bros. Wonder shellacked Spider-Man 2 in sales, which is hilarious to me. 6 million more people bought Mario Kart 8, and Pikmin 4. Congratulations to Pikmin 4. Well over 3 million copies sold. That's pretty damn good for that franchise there. So, but I want to bring up a tidbit about this Nintendo financial report that came out early this morning, today. So this is updated as of today. Why the Switch 140 million and it getting to the number 1 spot is very important. Which brings me to the Switch 2 rumors that are going to basically kind of not coincide with the Nintendo president statement that he gave out during the financial briefing this morning. Nintendo's president stated that the focus of business for 2024 is the current Nintendo Switch. Now, I told people this quite a few months ago that we're not getting a Nintendo Switch 2 until Nintendo Switch original has that number 1 best-selling console record in the bag. So Nintendo is sticking to their guns, which makes it very interesting because they only got 5 games announced for 2024, which is being Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Princess Peach, the Princess Peach game, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and there's one other one I forgot since coming out in the summertime. And Metroid Prime 4 is still on the release list. Yes, the release list they put out this morning, Metroid Prime 4 is still on there. If it will happen, I don't know. But it still has a to be decided for 2024, which makes it very interesting. So with that statement, I can guarantee that Nintendo Switch will be the best-selling console of all time. Nintendo is obviously making that designation by saying that their core focus for 2024 is the Nintendo Switch. So they want that to be the best selling system of all time, and I think they're going to get that, honestly. They got quite a few games that'll move a few units for the first quarter and the second quarter. But Metro Prime 4 actually comes out for the Switch, for the regular Switch. That will definitely help as well. Yeah, thanks, chat. Paper Mario Thousand Door, that's the other one that coming out in the summertime. So all these titles are smaller titles outside of Metroid Prime 4. They're not really big franchises, but as you can see, and another evidence I'm about to show you now, it doesn't matter what it is. If it comes out on Switch, it's going to be crazy success. One of the biggest things coming out from the Nintendo Financial Report is that it's been confirmed that 61 first-party titles have sold over 1 million on the Nintendo Switch. 61 first-party titles have sold over 1 million on Nintendo Switch. And I got to show you this million sellers list because it's pretty bonkers, to be honest with you. This is the million sellers list here. And it's pretty damn bonkers, man. 61 titles. Now, what makes this kind of crazy is how many titles actually sold over 10 million on the Nintendo Switch alone. And I think I think people are going to be kind of surprised by this. So, as you can see here, so I scroll this up. Here we go. All right. 21 games have sold over 10 million copies on the Nintendo Switch itself. I don't think y'all understand how crazy that is. 21 individual exclusive games on the Nintendo Switch have sold 10 million copies. 10 million is a mark that most games don't ever see in gaming history. There are 21 of those. It's Splatoon 3, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Super Mario Party Superstars, Nintendo Switch Sports, Super Mario 3D World, which I think that's a surprising one that sold 10 million. That I'm not even gonna cap on that one. Splatoon 2, Luigi's Mansion 3, Pokemon Legends, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Pokemon Let's Go, Ring Fit Adventure, New Super Mario Bros., Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Party, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Animal Crossing, and at number 1, I really want y'all to look at number 1 in that number. The number 1 best-selling game on the Nintendo Switch is Mario Kart Deluxe, and it sold 60 fucking million copies. I need to say that again, bro. Mario Kart 8 sold 60 million copies. I don't think y'all remember that was in a Wii U game. So collectively, I think it sold 70 million plus because I think it sold close to 10. Did it sell close to 10? It was close to 5 or close to 10 on the Wii U. I have to go look that up. How many copies it sold on the Wii U? 60 million copies on the Nintendo Switch alone. That's just completely asinine. I'm not even going to front. That's asinine as hell. I don't know how that's even feasibly possible, but here we are. But the fact of the matter is, okay, 8 million on Wii U. I knew it was around 10 million, somewhere around there. So effectively, Mario Kart 8 has sold 70 million copies, which is ridiculous. At this point, I guess that's their biggest franchise now is Mario Kart. Like it's insane. But yeah, 21 games sold over 10 million copies. And here we are. We're going to actually look at some of this stuff here. Just for y'all to get a refresher of what games actually sold over 1 million on the Nintendo Switch. I see Three Houses up there at 4 million. I love that game. I love that for that game. I really do. You know what I mean? And we just coming through here and seeing stuff. People actually bought Mario Strikers Battle League. A new Pokemon Snap sold 2.4 million. What the hell? How did Pokken Tournament sell 2 million on Switch? What the hell? Okay, that's new to me. That's new to me. That even Mario Kart Live even sold. That's crazy. Of course, we see our guys with Astral Chain and Bayonetta 2, Bayonetta 3, and the original Bayonetta. Game Builder Garage. That has to be new because that wasn't up there before. So there you go. 65 confirmed over 1 million for Nintendo Switch alone. 65 games. That is a record, people. Like I said, Nintendo Switch is a record breaker. Shout out to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. You know what I mean? Shout out to that. That was a good ass game. Love seeing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Xenoblade Chronicles Remake, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on this list. That's a big thing. Pikmin 3 also sold pretty well. So I don't think this has ever happened in gaming history for any console manufacturer to have 65 first-party self-published titles to sell over 1 million or more on one console. Nintendo Switch is absolutely the greatest thing that has ever happened to gaming because it continues to be something that is unprecedented. It continues to break records. It continues to do shit that I've never seen this shit in gaming done before. This is crazy. It's just absolutely astounding to look at something like this and be like, how is this possible? Is the question people will say. How is this possible? And I'm going to tell you why it's possible. Because everybody thinks it's a bait. Everybody think, you know, they're in denial, but it's just simple as this. They're the best developers on the planet. They have the best first party lineup. They have the best gaming franchises and they make the best games. Hands down, period. Otherwise, there's no way one company can put out 65 games and all of them sell over 1 million or more. And then 21 of those 65 sell over 10 million or more. I rest my case. So this should squash any discussions about who has the best first party lineup in gaming. It's not even worth discussion at this point. Sony has not done this. Xbox definitely hasn't done this. Sega hasn't done this. I'm pretty sure Atari and who else before that ain't done this shit either. This is some record-breaking shit, and it's crazy to really think about. And just imagine how much money they made of all these games selling this much. That's just collectively asinine to me. It's just overly ridiculous. I can't even fathom how they was able to pull that off, but they did. They pulled it off. They pulled it off and they did their thing. So now that y'all see that, now we got to talk about Switch 2. And I'm going to have to be very candidly honest with y'all about what's going to happen when it comes to that. Where we're at with that and what's actually going to happen. Switch is still big business, people. It's still big business. Switch is still big business. Now, the problem we have is that we don't know more of the games, but we have a Nintendo Direct that's supposed to be coming next week. I'm pretty sure it's going to be coming within the next week, next 14 days. I'm pretty sure we're going to have one of those. I'm sure about that. But the fact of the matter is the Nintendo president said the main focus is for Switch this year, for 2024. Fact of the matter is the Switch is only 15 million away from being the best-selling console of all time, which it will achieve. And Nintendo's going to make sure it achieves it. This basically puts you in the fact that Metroid Prime 4 is still listed for release on Nintendo Switch for 2024. So this pretty much solidifies one thing. Those Nintendo Switch 2 leaks and those Switch 2 rumors that y'all love so much, that y'all just, y'all love to just bite on and just watch and just speculate on and make videos about, make 18 videos a day on and talk about this, talk about that, the power of this, the power of that, the capability of this, the capability of that. Y'all might as well just forget it and throw it in the trash. Like any leak, any rumor at this point, you might as well just forget it and throw it in the trash. Especially when it comes to Nintendo products, man, it's like, look, you have to wait for Nintendo to say something. Because if you don't, you end up being disappointed, or you just end up with egg on your face. But I think I'm gonna say this though. I think I'm gonna say this, and this would be the biggest thing about the Switch 2. Don't believe everything that you see. Don't believe the bullshit that comes out. Don't believe that certain things are not going to happen because certain leakers want to say they're not going to happen. Don't believe that Nintendo won't come out swinging on the Nintendo Switch 2. Because obviously, if we're being honest about it, if we're being 100% about it, they kind of have to keep the momentum from the regular Nintendo Switch on to the Nintendo Switch 2, which is probably the scariest thing they are thinking about right now. They have to come out swinging. This has to be a product that people want to buy. And on top of that, now that the rumor is out there that Microsoft is going to release a Switch-like console in the very near future, that came also out of their rumored and leaks about, them going third party, that they're going to have a Switch-like console. No, I'm not trolling you. I'm not playing with you. That was literally in the leak, in the rumor. So now, of course, with the Steam Deck, people want to play piece of the Nintendo pie. You know what I mean? I just showed you the sales numbers and figures. People want some of that money. You know what I mean? They want some of that money. They want some of that. They try to solidify that bag too. You know what I'm saying? So, this successor has to hit on so many levels, which is probably why they're not rushing. They're making sure they're refining and fine tuning what they have and making sure the marketing is right. The direction is right. They're making sure games are going to be ready, because that's going to be the biggest factor when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 coming out. There's going to have to be some games that are mind-blowing, that is going to blow you away, that are ready to be sold when this thing comes out. That's the only way the momentum continues from Switch to Super Nintendo Switch, Switch 2, whatever the fuck they gonna call the damn thing. That's the only way. And the way that Microsoft is moving and the way that Sony is moving right now, it has to be a powerful enough console to play most third-party games. But I think we already got that confirmed because Microsoft already signed a contract with them for Call of Duty for 10 years. So there's that. I think that's already a done deal with that. But the games have to be stellar. You know what I mean? I don't know what you launch with at this point. You probably just launch with Mario Kart and just go with that. It's probably the best bet to do that, because Mario Kart is a damn phenomenon and a damn beast right now. So you probably want to go with that. Outside of that, I have no idea. I had predictions of Metroid Prime 4 being cross-gen, but I don't even know if that's going to happen at this point. The earliest you're going to see a Switch 2 is November of this year. That's probably how long it might take for the Nintendo Switch to become the best-selling console of all time. That's probably how long it's going to take. It's probably going to take all the way to the fourth quarter, quarter 4 of this year. To do that. They should be able to hit that right before the holiday, and I think that's when they probably could pull out that Nintendo Switch 2 and give it to you. What we're going to be playing until that point, I don't know. Because this lineup ain't looking so hot. I'm being just straight honest with y'all. It ain't looking so damn hot right now. It ain't. It's looking like, you know, it's looking very thin, and it's looking very unfucking impressive, to be honest with you. Looking very, very unimpressive. So, I want Metroid Prime 4. That's the only thing I'm looking forward to. I don't plan on playing anything else because it doesn't interest me. Unless something just becomes, you know, some critical acclaimed, outstanding masterpiece that I must play. I don't see that on any of the games that are on the list right now that's listed for coming out. Hopefully next week we get some more confirmation of more games coming out. What else could they release? I don't know. They already released 65 first-party games on this system. You got all the major hitters already. I don't know what else they could release at this point. To be honest with you, I don't know what else could come out. Metroid Prime 4 is the last thing. And it's probably going to be the biggest thing for the Nintendo Switch to send it off. But we have a big gap from basically June, well, May. From May to June, all the way to November. So we got to figure out what we're doing at this point, because we don't know. We don't know what's happening. But I do know one thing. These rumors and leaks for Nintendo Switch 2 are getting out of hand. Y'all need to get it together. Y'all need to get your life together. Get your life together, because I don't know why y'all feed into some of these rumors and leaks, because some of them are just absolutely just asinine as fuck. They're just dumb as hell. It doesn't make any sense. But they got to launch with something big. There's two things that could possibly happen. It's going to be the next Mario Kart. Mario Kart 9 is going to be the next 3D Mario game. That's the two things that are due to come out. You know, it's been a while for both of those games. And Mario Kart 8, I think, came out in 2014. That's 10 fucking years of that game. That's just insane. That's insane. So, there it is. That's what's going to happen. I feel like that's what's going to happen. I was hoping for something about September or something like that. I don't think that's happening with the Switch 2 now. They made it pretty evident with their comments. I don't think that's happening, but November, I think that's it. I think they're going to have that whole year to solidify the best-selling console of all time. And deservedly so, the Switch needs to be the best-selling console of all time, because it's one of the best consoles of all time. Deservedly so. That's how I feel about that. Deservedly so. So, I don't know. What do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel like the Nintendo Switch 2 might not make it this year based off the statement from the Nintendo president this morning? Or do you think November it is definitely solidified? That's where we're going to see it. What can it possibly launch with? You know what I mean? How do y'all feel about Microsoft and their situation? You know what I mean? Y'all could chime in the chat. I want to hear about that. How do y'all feel about that? Are you impressed by the Nintendo Switch record-breaking sales? Also, I forgot to mention, Nintendo Switch is the best-selling console of all time in Japan. That was unveiled today. So the best-selling console ever in Japan is the Nintendo Switch. So we're right on track to being the best-selling console ever. 15 million away. So I want to know what y'all feel about this Microsoft thing, because right now I'm very perturbed by it. I'm bothered by it. I don't want it to happen. I don't need it to happen. We don't need it to happen. It's not a good thing, man. It's not a good thing, and I don't think people understand why it's not a good thing. Any chance we could see that rumored DK game? That rumor, that's another thing. That rumor came out of nowhere. I don't even know where that came from. But the fact of the matter is that DK is due for a game anyway. But I hope they go back. Fuck that Donkey Kong Country shit. I'm tired of that already. Let's get back to that DK64 3D, adventure game. Let's get back to that, because I don't want another Donkey Kong Country. I'm 2D'd out. I'm so over of 2D. I'm over 2D games right now. That's half of the reason why I'm not excited for anything coming out on Switch so far this year. But Metroid Prime 4, that's it. I'm kind of just done with the 2D fucking games right now. I'm just done with them. I'm tired of it. You know, I mean, it's becoming a yearly thing now when it just needs to be a every now and again thing. But now it's a yearly thing. Like, we are not fiending to play in 2D again. We love the nostalgia. We love the throwback. We love your 2.5 HD that y'all like to do. But now y'all just doing it too much, and I'm just not. I'm not with it. So, that's why I don't give a damn about half the shit that's coming out. So, yeah. So yeah, how do y'all feel about that, man? Like, any questions? I answer any questions too before I get up out of here. But the thing is, we got to understand, y'all need to be rooting for Microsoft for the next 7 days. Y'all need to be rooting for Microsoft for the next 7 days. Because, man, it's we don't need that, man. It was not good when Sega left and didn't make consoles anymore. It's not going to be good if Microsoft leaves. You know what I mean? And that kind of opens the door for other people to come in, and who knows who will try to rear their ugly head in the console market if Microsoft has to go out. And the only culprit I can see is fucking Apple, and that's the last thing we need is them snooping they terrible business models into gaming. We definitely don't need that. We don't need that at all. We don't need that. Yeah, man, we don't need that. That Super Princess Peach game, I'm sorry, y'all, but that's that got what's the name of that game? What was the name of that Yoshi game? I forgot about that Yoshi game. What's the name of that Yoshi game? Anyway, I forgot the name of the Yoshi game, but that has it has the same quality written over it like that Yoshi game that came out. It ain't gonna be bad, but it ain't gonna be nothing to really go crazy about. Yeah, you know, we heard about Netflix gearing up. You know, Netflix been gearing up their games stuff too. So Netflix, Apple, Amazon. I love Apple. I love Amazon and Netflix. Fuck Apple. I'm an Android guy. I love what they do, but stepping into the console space is not something they need to do. So if Microsoft does move, expect one of them motherfuckers to try to do it, and then we're definitely in trouble because they're going to throw every type of nonsense at you that you could think of, especially Apple. They're already trying to sell you the same fucking phone every year with barely any fucking improvements. Just imagine they start making a damn console. They'll probably release a yearly fucking console at that. Like we don't need stuff like that. We really don't. We don't need stuff like that at all. So y'all need to be rooting for Microsoft. Y'all need to be getting on Phil Spencer's ass. Hold the line. That's what we need to do, Xbox. Hold the line. Hold the line. Like you had it all set up for you. Everything was looking good. Everything was looking copacetic. And now you waving a white flag. Sad to see. Don't want to see it. Don't need it. Don't need it. We need competition in here. And plus, do we really want to see Nintendo mollywop the fuck out of Sony for how many more next few years by themselves? Like, I don't think we really want to see that. Nobody really wants to see that. But this can have like, and the fact that they control a lot of major franchises and they're going to do this shit. Oh man, it's just not. It's just not looking good. It's not looking good. I hope that Xbox Switch console thing is not true. I hope Xbox, you know, giving people permission to make third-party consoles is not true. Like we don't need great value brand consoles, man. We don't need fucking Amazon making a console. We don't need Tubi making a console. We don't need fucking Fire TV making a goddamn console. We don't need Target making a console. Like that's the last fucking thing the gaming industry needs is people putting out low ball, low price, low rate, low quality consoles into the damn market. We really don't need that. And the fact of the matter is, I don't think it hurts Nintendo at all if that's going to be the case. It will definitely hurt Sony because obviously Nintendo products are only available in one place. But they start putting out third-party consoles, it's just, I just don't. I just, it's just not going to be a good thing. It's not going to be a good thing. So we'll see what happened next week, man. We'll see what happened next week. So, you know, questions, chime in right now. I'm gonna take a little Q&A section, you know what I'm saying? About, you know, the Microsoft thing and Xbox going third party, Nintendo Switch 2 rumors. How do you feel about what the launch of the Switch 2 going to be? When do you think the Switch 2 launch is going to be? Oh damn. Damn, my phone done died. But yeah, Google already tried it with Stadia, but Stadia was a stupid ass idea in the first goddamn place. Like nobody was going to stream their games like that. It was just not, it's not going to happen. Streaming games is just not something that people really are going to want to do. I mean, look at the PlayStation Portal. We also had a rumor about Sony doing a handheld again, which is fucking stupid. So what the fuck was the point of the Portal? Like these, I swear that company over there has no fucking direction. They just doing whatever, whenever, when the fuck ever. So it's going to be a weird case moving forward. If we get that Switch-like Xbox console, then we get what I guess a sequel to the Vita. It's going to get really interesting in these gaming streets, especially if Microsoft goes third party. Do you think it will be a Switch 2 Pro? Switch 2 Pro? We didn't even get to the Switch 2 yet. Why are we talking about Switch 2 Pro? What were we talking about a Switch 2 Pro for? Like, what? We ain't even got to the Switch 2 yet. Like, what? Why are we talking about a Pro? Like, we ain't even got the Switch 2 yet. We talking about a Pro. A Pro. Oh, man. You know, the idea for Stadia wasn't terrible, but the execution was. No, the idea and the execution for Stadia was fucking terrible. The idea of logging in and streaming games is terrible. There's no way around that. There's no way around that. The idea of logging in and streaming games is fucking terrible. Like what? Fuck the execution. The idea itself was terrible. I'm gonna buy this controller and I'm just gonna download this interface and stream it. No, man, no. Streaming games is bullshit. It's always going to be latency. It's always going to be issues. No. And plus, it's anti ownership, so I don't give a fuck about none of that. Oh, you meant PS5 Pro? PS5 Pro got to be the most asinine shit ever. What makes my blood boil about this whole situation with Microsoft and with Microsoft and Sony. On the Sony side, it's like, what the fuck we got a Pro for? And on the Microsoft side, why the fuck are we going third party when neither one of y'all consoles hasn't even been utilized yet? Y'all haven't even utilized half the resources and the power of these two consoles yet. So why the fuck are we pulling the plug and waving a white flag? Why the fuck are we talking about a Pro when these developers ain't even utilized the console itself yet at all? We just now getting games that ain't cross-platform. So what the fuck are we talking about a Pro for? There's a new rumor about a new Earthbound. There's always a rumor about a new Earthbound. But I got news for you. It ain't fucking happening. It ain't happening. That's been going on for 2 damn decades. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. I still think Switch 2 will launch this year. Yeah, I said November. It ain't coming no earlier than that. It ain't coming no earlier than that. So it ain't coming no earlier than that. It's not. They're going to make sure the Switch 2 becomes the Nintendo Switch becomes the best-selling console of all time. That's pretty evident. So yeah, that's pretty evident. The Xbox rumor doesn't sound. It really doesn't sound much like what Google tried to do. It don't sound much. Um, uh, it doesn't sound much. It sounds like a bunch of dog shit. That's what it sounds like. To be honest with you, bunch of dog shit. Um, the other M video should still be up on my channel. I don't think I took that down. I don't think I took that video down. I don't remember taking the other M channel down. I mean, the other M video. I don't remember taking the other M video down. It should be still up. So you might want to go check and see if it's still up. And fuck what you heard. Other M was good. I don't care what anybody says. Metroid Other M was good. Metroid Other M was really, really good. Of course, I'm pretty sure we'll have a reveal around June. That's usually E3 time. So I'm pretty sure we'll have a reveal of Switch 2 around that time. And it will release in November. That's pretty much it. They're not going to cut the Nintendo Switch off at the knees. That I can guarantee you. This is why they've been stalling all this fucking time with that system. They're not going to cut the Nintendo Switch off at the knees. They're going to get every single solitary sale out of the Nintendo Switch they can get. They're not going to cut it off at the knee. You could definitely take that to the bank. That's definitely something that's not going to happen for sure. I was gonna talk about make a mention about the Suicide Squad Justice League situation, but I don't know. I don't know if I should because it's pretty sad to see. You see a lot of developers are doing this now. They're trying to make those multiplayer focused games, and they're not doing a good job, or they're trying to make those games as a service games and they're not doing a good job. You see what happened with Sony. You see what happened with Factions. Now you seeing what happened with Rocksteady and the Suicide Squad game. So it's like it's not working out very well with these people trying to make these hit games to mimic Fortnite and Warzone and PUBG and Apex, Overwatch is not working out for them. I wish a lot of developers would stop trying to do that. GTA Online, another one. Just don't focus on that. Focus on making gaming experiences. That's it, man. Because it doesn't shock me that Suicide Squad is fucking garbage. It doesn't shock me. Because that's not what y'all supposed to be doing anyway. But too many people are trying to do that. I think the controversy over Suicide Squad is fucking dumb. It's Suicide Squad. You're the villains. You're supposed to kill a superhero. So I have nothing else to say about that. That's just dumbassery at that point. But the game not being good is that's no excuse for the game not being good at all. Hold up. What? Damn, I just missed that. The Vanquish gameplay going. I have to go back and look because I don't remember taking those videos down. So I'm gonna have to go back and look. I have to go back and look. Vanquish was that game, boy. I love that. I want a sequel to that. I still want a sequel to that Vanquish game. Platinum Games, I need a sequel to Vanquish. Pronto. Get on it. Get on it. Multi-platform box Series X. Like, yeah, of course. I knew your hating ass was gonna come here and say something like that. I'm telling y'all, this is not a no laughing matter. Y'all gonna be sad later and thinking this is funny. It's not funny, bro. Really not funny. You do not want this to happen. You do not want this to happen for the simple fact that we need 3 console manufacturers to thrive. To thrive. For competition, we need it to thrive. Secondly, I am scared to death on who's going to try to take Microsoft's place if they come out of console making. Because somebody is going to try to do it. And the way these companies are set up now, they don't give a fuck about the integrity of gaming. It's all about a dollar bill. So that's the 2 main reasons I do not want this to happen for the Xbox brand. I do not want this to happen for Microsoft. Because it bothers me who is going to try to step in and try to take that 3rd slot. Because they're not going to respect any gaming. Like, we're already seeing companies that have nothing to do with gaming try to dabble in the gaming already. So somebody probably is going to try to do it, and it will probably fuck up every damn thing we know about gaming and love about gaming. So it's not something I want to see. That's something I want to see at all. At all. Yeah, I don't know why Nintendo hasn't bought Platinum Games yet. Or maybe they have, because that's probably the reason why Kamiya left the studio. But I don't know. But how they didn't buy Platinum Games yet, I have no fucking clue. Like, Platinum is doing their best work under Nintendo. And it's obviously paying off, as you've seen with the top sellers list for Nintendo Switch games. They are doing their best work, and they are selling their most copies of games under Nintendo. It's a no-brainer at this point. I don't see why that hasn't happened yet. Like, all the other shit that they do to make money, they just throw that shit away, because the other shit they be doing, be helping out on it ain't no way it's bringing in more money than what they do with Nintendo. There's no way. Their games are selling more on Nintendo platforms. They're selling more games than ever on Nintendo platforms. They're developing more critically acclaimed games under Nintendo on the Nintendo platform. So I don't understand why that didn't happen yet. Or maybe it secretly has happened and we ain't got told yet, but they're still going to be working going forward. But I don't understand why that hasn't happened yet. It's kind of like 1 + 1 at this point in time. Like, it's like, we just get it, just do it already. Like, what's the holdup? Apple or Amazon is obviously the big culprits I think are going to try to do it. So it's not, if Microsoft pulls the plug, it's and I definitely don't want either one of them two doing that. I love Amazon for what Amazon does, and what Amazon does is not fucking gaming. So I don't want either one of those two to rear their ugly ass heads. So it's like so yeah, Astral Chain is just, that's the best new franchise in the last decade. That really surprised the hell out of me that they made that game that damn good. That damn good. That damn good. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, Near Automata they made some money on, but you gotta understand, like, that had to do with who was it with that? That was Square, right? I think that was Square Enix. They did that with. Um, so I'm pretty sure that the I'm pretty sure the split on that was way different and probably less than what they get with Nintendo, because they're working directly with Nintendo and it's only on the Nintendo platform as an exclusive. So I would assume the split is a little bit different. So I'm pretty sure the split is probably better for them under Nintendo, which is why they keep working with Nintendo. Yeah, and Near Automata did also find new life on the Nintendo Switch as well. So it's like it's a no brainer. I don't know. I've been calling for it forever. I don't know how many times they got to break records on Nintendo platform to realize, hey, you probably should do that. You probably should go ahead and just let Nintendo just go ahead and absorb you on up, hold you in your pocket, because you ain't really going nowhere. Like, what they ain't gonna. They try to work with Microsoft, that didn't work. Scalebound. You ain't gonna go over to Sony and work with them because you just don't know what the fuck they want to do. So I mean, they ain't gonna go anywhere. So it's like, just go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Nobody want to talk about no damn Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade look like the laggy version of Vanquish. The laggy version of Vanquish is Stellar Blade. Oh man, I think that game would just be average at best, to be honest with you, from what I saw so far. Definitely ain't competing with no Platinum's game title at all. Like, I think people have a bigger appreciation for Platinum games now because they can see the difference in Platinum games and action games and other games that come out. They just don't stack up and look very impressive compared to Platinum games at all. At all. Not one damn bit. Not one bit, bro. They don't stack up at all, bro. Not even close. Not even close. What the hell? I pushed that button by accident. Yeah. No, I don't think it's over for Xbox. I think Phil gonna surprise y'all. I would hope Phil surprise everybody next week. I would hope that would be the case, but we'll see what happens. So, all I gotta say is, before I get out of here, prayers up for Xbox. I hope it doesn't end this way. It doesn't need to end this way. We got to stand on business, Phil. Phil, we got to stand on business, man. We got to stand on business. You got a whole crazy lineup coming up for Xbox, man. Y'all can't go out like this. This is the most bitch made way to go out I've ever seen a company go out. You can't go out like this. So, saying a prayer for Xbox. We don't need them to go anywhere. Shout out to Nintendo Switch on its way to being the best-selling console of all time. All time. Breaking crazy records. Over 65 titles has sold over 1 million copies. Over 21 titles has sold over 10 million copies. Nintendo Switch is an absolute beast. And, shout out to Metro Prime 4, still on the release schedule for 2024 Nintendo Switch. I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. Sam is my bae. I'm waiting on you. Trust me, I'm waiting on you. And, shout out to Nintendo for having all these people coming out with all these Switch 2 leaks and rumors, so-called, and basically have no fucking idea what's really going on. But soon we will find out. Nintendo Direct coming next week. Xbox Direct, Business Direct, or whatever the fuck it's going to be called, coming next week. So we're going to have a pretty good week next week. We're going to see what the hell's going on. We're going to see what the fuck is going to go down. We're going to see what the future of gaming is going to look like. And hopefully, the future of gaming will still look like 3 people that are console manufacturers. And that will still stand on business.